Hey guys, so finally doing a walk around on my S14 drift car. Sorry in advance for any wind noise, it's a bit blowy today. First of all, got to thank my sponsors this year. So ARG, where I work, and then got to give a massive shout out to Part Service. They contributed towards some of my tyres this year. And Emmett Hepper, he's going to do some photos of me this year, so that's going to be great. Tyres wise, I'm partially sponsored by Tyre Streets, so got to thank them. I'm running the 651 Sport in a 225 45 17 this year, all round square setup. So I got the same on the front, just down here. Nice enough to send me some big stickers which need to go on the car. It's annoying that I haven't managed to get out and try the 651s yet. I'm super excited to try them. I've never ran a semi-slick. Look at that nice tread pattern there. Body wise, I've always run a standard front bumper, although that was probably for the first 5 or 6 years. And then last year when I had a bit of a smack at Autofest, anyone knows me will see, I had a bit of a crunch. I then got this bumper, it's got the centre cut out, as you can see in here, and it's running the SRB 5-glass splitter, and it's all painted up, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great on the car. I think it's the best the car's looked since I've had it, to be honest. I managed to get bonnet vents there and there. I had just this side here in before, but that was just to let the heat away from the turbo. But you can see, even with it's distorted this here, so you'll see in a minute. I've got a turbo blanket now, so that should make things a bit better. Obviously got aero catches, because you can't have the standard lock, which is normally like up under here sort of thing. You can't have that because they need to be able to open the bonnet in case there's a fire or anything like that. But I've always had metal stock front wings, standard doors. I'm running charge speed skirts, which they are genuine. Yeah, decent. They've taken quite a beating actually, to be fair, since I've had the car. What else? Yeah, got over fenders on the back. I think they're about 30mm, because I always ran a stock body for ages, but it just trying to beat out and fill real quarters every time you have a smack is just not worth the hassle. So extended out the fuel cap, so I'll space that out just here and here so it sits flush. So that's good. So on the back I'm running a cut down stock bumper. I used to have a 5-glass one which did look a bit better. I'll try and put a photo in the video now like that, but I just caught it everywhere. Literally every drift day I was at, I used to just smash it up. It would just get caught in whatever ruts I dropped down, because I run quite soft rear suspension, so sometimes the edge of the over fender could be down sort of this far. Got to thank my neighbour actually, Nigel and Kat, for sorting me out some. Got a Facebook sticker there. Please go give me a follow on there. Got my Instagram name as well on the back. Old Hall Performance, they supplied the turbo blanket, so I'll show you that in a minute. Tyre Streets, like I said, I got some much bigger stickers of them. I'm going to stick on the car, and then I'll get some photos up of that. Always had a stock rear spoiler and the standard. I like keeping the Turner SX sticker, just because, I don't know, sort of some of the factory option. Cut away the bottom of the rear quarters, because it just makes it a million times easier to work on the car. If you look under here, I can literally get to everything, you know, my hand can get in on all the arms and stuff. I've got a jacking bar on the back here, that's super handy. So yeah, what else? I'm still running the stock rear lights, although they've had a bit of a, I can't remember if that's a replacement now. This side here has had a bit of treatment, so he's taped up. Just got some quick release bobbins on the bumper. It literally comes off in like 2 minutes, but that's what you need when you're drifting. So yeah, in the back I like to keep the standard footwell, because you can still get a couple of wheels in the back, but I'd like to strip and clean and respray the whole back, the whole inside really. But yeah, you can just see, look at this, you can see the 651s. This is mounted to, like I said, another 9J tyre and 9J wheel. But yeah, just a nice decent, you can feel when you put your thumb in it, it's lovely, it's soft, good soft. That's going to be super grippy. I think I'm going to have to run these quite high pressure, just because I run quite a soft suspension on the back. Let's go around. So the other side, yeah, exactly the same. Like I said, Pepper, yeah, go give him a like on Facebook and Instagram. He's got lots of good photos. I'm looking forward to what photos he gets of me this year. Like I said, any car or commercial parts, give Part Service a ring in the southwest. They cover quite a wide area. What next? Oh yeah, they fitted these cut-off switches. So I've got the electric cut-off switch and the fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher kit was supplied by PD Extinguishers, which is down here. He did me and another guy, Rob, a deal on a couple. So if you want to buy a kit similar, which I'll show you inside in a minute, either message me and I could probably speak to him for you. Whilst we're outside, brakes, I've got standard brakes, however I'm running the Ali Z32 caliper because it's about a kilo lighter than the standard cast one. I'm running just a 15mm slip-ons, I don't know if you can see that, slip-on spacer. Like I say, everything is very rusty because I literally have not used the car for probably 6 months. Quick release bobbins on the front here as well. Normally I cable tie them, to be fair. The rubber ones have got a bit perished. So let's go have a look under the bonnet now. Oh, bit of water collected there in the corner. That's my friend Craig's Rover. He probably isn't watching this, but if he does watch it, that's the Rover of love. He absolutely loves that car. I won't comment on what I think of Rovers. Yeah, so under the bonnet, got high mounted intercooler on the front here. I've had it tucked up in behind for years now, just because the amount of people I've seen with, they ran it along the front and it's just got ripped off on a crash. I remember I was at Pembury with Rich. I think he came around the bottom corner. I don't know if he caught the curb or someone caught him, but yeah, it just ripped pretty much the end tank off because they're normally fitted up the other way around, and yeah, not ideal situation. Whereas I've had quite a few big crashes in this, or biggish clouts, and it's never caught the radiator or the intercooler. So yeah, I haven't got the cowling, which most people do recommend. However, I'm running, you can see my oil cooler is sat back here. I've just literally moved that down here because I did have it down the side in this little gap down here. However, when I crashed at Autofest earlier, at the same time that I got this bumper and stuff, it just got smashed. Basically this whole corner here got a bit of a whack, and yeah, it broke the oil cooler and it's pissing out oil everywhere. So I want to keep it all protected, so I've moved it down here. Also, I noticed that when it was mounted on the front, just here, I'll get a picture up for you, I didn't realise until I sort of had a bit of a closer look at how the air comes through, and also from the bottom, it was covering, the cooler was sort of covering a lot of that. If you were sat in a queue, it would literally just heat soak into the intercooler, and I think it was putting the temps up, because every so often I'd get a bit of like a jerky, you know, I'd pull away and it'd be a bit jerky and then it would clear. And I've only noticed it since I put it there, so that's why I've now moved it back here. I've got the aircon, what used to be the aircon rad, on a switch, which I'm hoping to wire into a temperature switch, probably teed into the water neck or the top hose here, something like that, just so as it automatically kicks in. Oh, some more wind. Always when you're trying to make a video. Garage is trying to open now as well. Close that bad boy. Right. Sorry about that. So yeah, standard rocker cover has just been painted. Matching colour of the car, as well as my top of my strut tops, or the strut brace mounts. Running a Blitz air filter, and more importantly, what more people are interested in, I'm running a Power Enterprises P1420 turbo. It was a T2 flange. I don't know how well you can see. I cut and welded a T3 flange to it so as it would fit with this style of top mount manifold, because it had a T3 flange on it. And yeah, Old Hall Performance have just supplied me, they had a good deal on the heat shield products turbo blanket, so I've gone for that just to try and stop it from, like I say, if you look up here you can see it's melted to the bottom of that, and before I even had a vent there, the bonnet there used to get super hot. Oh, you can see where it's distorted colour of the I don't know where you can see actually, but yeah, just focus that. Yeah, so I've got rid of the ABS. You can see I've just used copper. It's great. It's better without ABS, to be honest. The ABS on these, especially when you're drifting, if you spin out of something, you don't want the ABS really. I'm also running an external wastegate. It's just down the back of here. I've just got a torch, don't know how well you can see it there. You see the blue thing there with the screamer pipe coming off. The first time you hit boost on screamer pipe was ace. Suspension wise, I've got the front camber set out as little as possible, because with the extended arms I've still got about 3.5–4 degrees of camber. Well, so I've got a manual boost controller here. So I'm running about 1.1 bar on an HDEV 2A map, which is restricted to about, I'm probably about 290–300 horsepower. If I had a bigger map, bigger than that one there, then I should be able to, you know, if I got a Z32 or a GTR 35, something like that MAF, I could go up to probably be looking at 330, but that would be more than enough. I've got 5.5 injectors in under here. Got a T-off for standard oil pressure switch, so that, you know, the oil pressure light switch that comes on the dash as normal, and then that there is my temperature one. I got the fire extinguishers. I've fitted, when I did the cut-offs up there, I've just fitted the 1 pointing on the injector side and one pointing at the turbo, so hopefully if it catches fire for any reason that should put it out. Jap speed alley rad. Like I said, Hell Performance supplied a good deal on the oil cooler, which definitely makes a massive difference. I don't run a thermostat because, to be honest, it takes no time to get up to temperature, even though people do say, you know, on the road it won't get warm enough, blah blah blah, but it generally does. My thoughts are that the air's sort of getting warmer as it goes back, so it should go through the intercooler first, coolest, then the radiator air at maybe, you know, 95 degrees or whatever, and then back at the oil cooler, which is could be up to 100, 110. So that's sort of what I've gone for. I might try this now and notice that the temp spike's bad and I have to move it somewhere else again, but that's what I'm going to try. Battery inside, so you need some sort of not adapter, but you know, something to tee it into where it's a standard battery used to sit here. I think that's pretty much it under the bonnet. So yeah, a bit about the suspension. So yeah, I've got BC coilovers. I'm running extended front arms. I've got Part Shop Max modified knuckles. Yeah, Polybush anti-roll bar, Polybush lower arm, Polybush traction arm on the front. Subframe's been cut and moved forward 25mm. Like I said, I'll probably try and do a video with the car on the ramp so you can see it a bit better, because it's quite difficult to see from there. So I'll just get under the back. I forgot to mention, yeah, the exhaust. I'm running HKS high power back box, which is then just mated up to sort of a custom. I've made the exhaust really. It's got, yeah, don't ever put your V-band there. I made this exhaust, and then yeah, that V-band catches on literally quite a lot. It's sort of flattened. I'm running a Skyline diff, Skyline 5-bolt shafts, hard race toe and camber arms. I'm running the rest of it's Polybush. I've got, yeah, Polybush knuckles on the back. Onto the inside of the car now. I'm running I've got a fabric cage roll cage. It's the first thing you noticed. It's got double door bars. It's within the regs, because I'm pretty sure now you've got to have, basically, the top bar has got to be at least 400mm off of the floor. That's for, I'm pretty sure it's for RDC, Driftcup, BDC, all of them, because they don't want this bar too low, so if you get smacked, you know, it's protecting you. I got the cage in another shell from someone from the Genetic Drifters. You can see it's still on the dash there, Genetic Drifters, which I cut out and refitted, but the people before had welded these door bars, even though it's a bolt-in cage, they'd welded the door bars in, so I had to cut them out and then make up some adapters. So the whole cage is bolted in, like on the plates on the floor, like that, and the door bars are bolted in. So that's ace if I ever need to take it out or whatever. I probably never will. I imagine it'll be in this shell for, well, obviously if they change the regs next year where you need to have a welding cage, then I'll have to change it around again. But for the minute, that's that. Seat wise, I'm running an OMP RSPT. It's got the wings on the side, which is a bit of a pain to make them fit, because anyone who's got a decent low bucket seat in a 14 will know it's a bugger to try and get, especially near a cage like this where the cage isn't right to the edge. Obviously if I had a proper bespoke cage that went right down the side, you'd be able to fit in lovely, but for the average cage, it's a pain in the bum. I'm running SRS 3-inch harnesses there. If you did BDC, you'd need to run the 6.1, so you need to run them through here. That is something I'm probably going to do anyway, just so the car's up to spec. Got OMP steering wheel, Blitz boost gauge, that's handy. Yeah, hydraulic handbrake. I've literally only fitted this year. Well, no, not this year, last year, sorry. I did my last 2 competitions with that handbrake. I've moved over the standard handbrake over to that side, because I'm just so used to having the normal handbrake here that I didn't want to have to try and relearn it again. You can see I've got oil temperature here. I'm probably going to stick my water temperature gauge underneath once I get that in there. Got electrical cut-off switch here. That's on, off there. You have to just ignore the battery and stuff, because I had all that out when I was doing a bit of welding, and my old batteries just died to death. Got my extinguisher pull cable there. Otherwise, still got a bit of dash. Don't have the glove box or anything. Removed all the aircon, so the fan didn't quite sit correctly in there, so I've just moved that over. That's another job on the list really. That's the fire extinguisher there. I decided to mount it there and get rid of the passenger seat just for this year. See how I get on. To be honest, I do take people in the car, but it's not that often, and you know, when I'm at a competition, that is the least of my worries. Yeah, I'll try it, so I get on. If I decide I do want the seat back in, I've got loads more of this alley pipe here, which is nice and easy to fit, so I'll just start a bit off that, probably move it to back here. As you can see, that's just my old battery box there, but you can see my hydraulic lines for the handbrake there. And then the rest of the cage, it's also, yeah, still got the rear matching strut brace in here. Probably doesn't need to be fitted already with the cage, but it was in there, so I've left it on there. Got a bit of padding on the cage here, so I don't whack my head or anything like that. So yeah, I was just going to add about that twin caliper setup on the back. I went for a bit of a bespoke setup, really. Me and Dave Foote, he never actually got around to fitting it on his before he sold the car, unfortunately. But yeah, I've basically got a second caliper on the back, which is a mini caliper. I need to paint it up really, because yeah, but it's absolutely massive compared to the standard 14 caliper. And it grabs really well. I've got you can see I've got the Jap speed space in the back here as well. Car needs a clean, to be honest, but I think I'll wait until I actually know I'm going to do a drift day. If not, it's just going to get cleaned and then dirty again. Yeah, I haven't got any door cards. I probably will make something up, or I might cut up my friend's if he's got them still, because it's nice to have something. But just with the cage there, the standard ones, the speaker here, it's normally here, that catches, everything just catches, so it's just quick and easier just to take the door cards off completely. I've got used to not having them anyway. Next, well, I'll start them up. Hasn't been started for absolutely months, so it might be a bit slow. Let's see what happens here. When I widened the cut-off switch, I was doing it quite quickly, because at the time I thought I was going to be doing a RDC drift day in, oh, when was it booked for? Was it March or April? Can't remember now. That's obviously been postponed with the whole Corona thing. I think it looks like it's going to be September, October time now. Let me stick this back on there. So we've got, I should have, oh yeah, I also accidentally wired the temperature gauge into the battery positive rather than the when I was supposed to wire into the ignition, so I know the battery's on when that's on. And then I've got this switch here. Yeah, hear the fuel pump prime, nothing else. I can imagine this is going to take a second to start. Let's see what happens. Oh, not bad. Bit of VVT rattle then, wasn't there? Sounds pretty sweet, really. I've been quite lucky, mine's not too ticky. You know, the VVT sprockets in these always get ticky, but I change the oil quite a lot, and I found it's always ran pretty well. When it gets really hot, sometimes it does start ticking a bit, but generally it runs pretty well. Considering how long it hasn't been ran for, that was pretty good. I got my turbo blanket on here, but I'll be interested to see how I get on with that. So thanks for watching, guys. Please give the video and the channel a like and subscribe. Hopefully the next video I'll probably be aligning the car or doing some sort of work on it, and then I'll be at another drift day. I don't know when yet. Hopefully I'll be doing a practice day before any of the RDC rounds, and then hopefully do the BHP Fuel Fest up at West Point, because that's really local to me and just is super handy how close it is. But please, if you go to Tyre Streets, you can get 15% off if you put in Dan15. I'll put that up on. I'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, they're pretty reasonable priced anyway, to be fair, but they're just a little bit off. And always quick. I ordered mine and they came within a couple of days. You know, great service from them. Part service, go use them. They're always competitive on price. And if you need any normal work done in your car, welding, servicing, MOT, anything like that, go give ARG a shout. I'll put their number and their links in the description below as well. I might even be working on your car. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, we'll make the next one soon.